Hey, do you remember me? Yes, it's been a few weeks. Hey guys, my name is Jacob. Welcome back to Eminem Hub. And yes, I missed out on a week, but I went to Thailand. I put some awesome photos up of me enjoying the time. That is my main excuse, but we are back. But the video we have for you today is we're going to be ranking every rapper, at least the popular ones. We've got a tier list as always. We got some different tiers this time, guys. So I wanted to spice it up from the normal GOAT, legends, etc, etc. Today we got prime. So these are rappers, like prime rap genre rappers, okay? So these guys changed everything and were an impact. We've got world class, so these are still world class rappers, not quite there, but they are a level below. They are still world class in my opinion. We got solid. These are solid rappers that do bring something to the game and I think definitely have a place in the rap industry. Average. Self-explanatory. These guys maybe just don't hit it. They've got a few good songs in their locker, but apart from that, they're pretty average. Poor form. These are rappers that just are consistently performing at a lower level, and I don't think have many songs in my playlist or any at all, that fact. And then we got Diddy for the absolute scrubs. So let's begin. There will be people I don't know, and I will also be putting people who I haven't listened to in here, even if I do know who they are. They're the parameters. You guys let me know if you want to see any kind of other video tier list ranking video. I can do anything you want me to. You just gotta say it. So let's begin with Logic, and this looks like an AI picture, let's be real. But Logic's an interesting figure. I've listened to quite a few of his albums, and there are definitely lots of songs I really like from Logic. He's one of the more successful. I know he's not technically white from his lineage, but if we base him in that camp, I guess, then he is definitely one of the better. He's definitely got the technical ability down pat. There are a few stinkers that he has, but look, I'm gonna put him in solid. He's just not really my thing most of the time, but I think he is a solid rapper. Sometimes has songs in the world class, but I think there was a period where he tried going too pop, in my opinion, and it didn't really suit his style, in my opinion. All right, Lasso. I have never listened to Lasso, so can't comment. Juice WRLD. Rest in peace, of course. Juice WRLD inspired many people, especially that generation coming into the SoundCloud era, the emo trap, and all that. It was definitely a time to be alive, and I love so many Juice WRLD songs. Robbery is a classic, in my opinion. I just love lots of his music, and a lot of people resonate with him, and you can't deny the impact this guy has had. If we're talking about rapping though, okay, Juice WRLD definitely could have got up here. I will say he could have got to world class. I'm going to put him in solid just because the names we will be coming up with are crazy, but you can't deny the impact that he has had, but I will be chucking him into solid today. Ice Spice, I'm not even going to front. Straight into the Diddy tier. What do you want me to say? This is the most one-dimensional rapper there ever has been, who can only do one style and do the same song over and over. She's been found out. I don't think people are rooting for her anymore. Yeah. I'm also going to actually zoom out because I know this is going to get a little bit messy, especially with the Diddy tier. Method Man. I'm going to put Method Man in world class. When has Method Man dropped a bad song? NBA Youngboy. I don't think he's that bad. I'm going to put him in average though, just because I haven't returned to a lot of his music, and from what I've heard, he's okay. I'm not going to say much more on the matter. Biggie Smalls, the notorious B.I.G. Biggie. This guy, you can't argue with prime. This guy was everywhere at some point. I wasn't alive at that time, but man, I wish I was, because this guy, you listen to his music, some music gets dated over time. I understand. A lot of music doesn't, but this guy was ferocious. He had the flow. He just had that aggressive nature. I just can't get past Biggie, so literally as well. So prime, he is in the prime tier along with Jay-Z. You talk about one of the most recognizable voices in hip-hop. Jay-Z is certainly one of them. Just classics after classics. With Blueprint is one of my most listened to hip-hop albums of all time. Reasonable Doubt right off the gate as well. There's so many classics, and he hasn't dropped an awful project for me, so I'm going to put him in prime. Below Biggie Smalls, though. Look, in terms of ranking, guys, I'm only really going to be ranking the prime and Diddy or any notable ones, because there's a lot of people to go through. Let's spend less time on each person, okay? Lil Uzi Vert, I haven't listened to a huge amount of his music, and I'm not the biggest fan. Look, this just isn't my type of rap. I'm sorry. I'm going to put him in average because there are a lot of people who do like his music. So I'm going to put him in average. Playboi Carti, again, haven't listened to a lot of his stuff, but it kind of goes against everything I believe in. So look, we're just going to put him there. I'm sorry. And I ended up listening to the rest of his 𝐼𝐴𝐸 project. I just don't care. We got Tyler, the Creator. And this guy is just world class. We're going to put him in world class. I haven't listened to a huge amount of his music, but from what I've heard, he is crazy good. Underrated, for sure. He doesn't really get put into a lot of conversations, but he is definitely in the world class. Soulja Boy. I'll be honest, I haven't listened to a lot of Soulja Boy. I actually can't rank him fairly. Same with Central C. What I've heard, I'm not the biggest fan, but I actually haven't heard enough at all to actually fully rank him. Macklemore. This guy had 2 songs that were crazy popular, like existential levels of popularity. He even, he won a Grammy, even if, probably wasn't deserved. Look, he was there for it. So, but Thrift Shop, you got those bangers, but what has happened to this guy? What has happened to him? I haven't heard from him since. Look, he's not the worst rapper of all time. I am going to put him in poor form because I think that's fair enough. He kind of just dropped off after those songs. I've never really had a problem with him. Haven't listened to Gunna. I just don't care. I don't know who that is. Ooh, Loop Fiasco. Okay, so I'm going to put him in solid. I really like what I've heard from him. Lil Dicky is in Diddy. Lil Diddy, basically, hasn't ever released a good track in my opinion. Earth Song is the most notable one from him. That is also one of the worst songs of all time. So, notable for the wrong reasons. Most of the time, he's not a serious rapper. Rick Ross is the definition of poor form. What has he done? Kanye West. Now, no way, they've separated. No way. Okay, speaking of which, I am actually going to be reacting to Kanye on this channel as soon as I find time, but that is in the plans. But from what I've heard of Kanye, he is up there in the prime tier. Ye, on the other hand, is in the Diddy tier from what I hear. I haven't listened to enough to properly judge them, so take it with a grain of salt, but Kanye is certainly on my list to go through. Kid Laroi. I have not heard that name in a while. Look, I'm going to put him in average. He's not bad. A lot of his success came from his friendship with Juice WRLD. He benefited a lot from that. He has some songs that I certainly like. I also don't know where he's been. He's almost in poor form, but we'll put him in average. Now, XXXTentacion has some bangers, for sure. Now, obviously, rest in peace. And don't get it misconstrued. He has some good songs. I just don't rate him. I know it maybe that's not the most respectful thing to say, but with respect, he made it as far as he did, and unfortunately he passed away. But honestly, he's in the average tier for me. Maybe towards the top, because I definitely do like a few of his songs. But his impact, you can't deny the impact. So if this list was on impact, it would be a bit different, I think. Tyga, honestly is in Diddy. When has Tyga released something good? Quavo, obviously one of the Migos brothers, so we got to rank them individually and together. Okay, we're going to put Quavo up in world class. I don't think anyone disagrees with that, along with Migos, of course. Coolio is definitely world class. It has one of the most memorable songs of all time in Gangsta's Paradise, and just a lot of his work is crazy. Post Malone isn't really a rapper, let's be real. He had some time where he was in that area, but now he's a country singer by all intents and purposes. We'll put him on average. He has a lot of really good songs I like, but he's not really a rapper. And then we have the man himself. Now, it would be a shame if I didn't put him in his own tier, so he is in Diddy. I'm not even going to say anything. Meek Mill, legend. Don't like the way he's been speaking lately, but, he is a legend. We'll put him in world class for his contributions, but Meek Mill, I don't like you. Lil Wayne. It would be a real shame if I didn't put him up in prime where he deserves to be. What can I say? Lil Wayne is a ghost of the craft. freestyling beast. This guy could probably freestyle for ages. Just the mixtape king as well. So he goes right up there. And we got Common. I haven't listened to a lot of Common. I'm sorry. 6ix9ine also goes in the Diddy tier. Just an awful rapper. Just shouts at the mic and does nothing else. More famous for going to jail, really. Jack Harlow. Just poor form, honestly. He rose to prominence a few years ago and hasn't done anything with it. Poor form, for sure. Megan Thee Stallion, I've never understood the hype, really. A lot of people like her music. She's been impactful to a lot of people, for sure. Not me. She is going in poor form, if not average. Maybe average. She's probably on the average tier. Tory Lanez, poor form. I don't know who B.O.B. is. Ice Cube, without a doubt, in prime. You know what? Is he? Wait, Coolio. I just feel like Coolio and Ice Cube probably should be on the same tier. I'm gonna put Ice Cube in prime. He just was the real deal. And speaking of which, Tupac is right up there as one of the greats of all time. The impact alone makes my eyes sweat visibly. You know who does make me sweat, but in a completely different way? KSI, because this man, people claim he has a ghostwriter, but let's be fair, this guy writes his own lyrics and it shows, because I'm sorry KSI, you have maybe like one song or two songs I like. Apart from that, you're a YouTuber. Let's stick to it. Nothing against the YouTuber. Nothing against. Lizzo, absolute ditty. In fact, she is one of my most hated artists of all time. I don't get the hype. Her songs genuinely suck, and she doesn't seem to be a great person either. So look, the nice girl act worked for a bit, but not on me, okay? I just don't care. MF Doom. Now, I haven't listened to really much MF Doom at all, so I don't know if I can fairly rank him. A lot of people would put him up in here. I need to, he's on the list. Up there with, of course, Kanye, as people need to listen to. Chance the Rapper had a great early career. Then he dropped the Big Day, horrible project, and now he is most definitely in poor form. I don't think he's quite Diddy level, but he is definitely on poor form. DMX. I'm gonna put DMX in solid. Don Toliver, I think, look, he's okay. We're going to put him solid. I don't think he's done much wrong. I will say, though, it's kind of weird putting him on the same tier as Logic and Juice WRLD. Let's put him in average. Haven't really listened to much Flow Rider. Don't really care. Same with who that is. Lil Yachty is in the poor form category. Cameron, who the hell are you? ASAP Rocky, haven't really listened to. Okay, there's going to be quite a few of these. Designer, dropped Panda, and then stopped making music quickly after that. So he's not a bad rapper, but can he really be put above these guys? I don't think so. Wiz Khalifa, I just don't care. Oh, that's Childish Gambino. Oops. Wiz Khalifa's there. Childish Gambino, decent rapper. We'll put him in solid. Doechii, she was good before Anxiety. She may have released one of the most annoying songs of all time in the last 10 years. We'll put her in average for now. She isn't on poor form right now, but, you know, she has made some good songs in the past, so we can't deny that. Rakim, legend of the game. A lot of his stuff doesn't hold up so much anymore, you know. Well, let's not pretend. This is the definition of music maybe aging slightly. He exists so these guys could exist, but he is in world-class tier still. Joyner Lucas rose up. Eminem and him did a great song together with Lucky You. And he has got some good tracks. I'm going to put him in solid. Probably at the back of solid, though. Trippy Red. Poor form, honestly. Just don't care. And he was on that song with KSI, so automatically lost points. Busta Rhymes is a legend of the game. We're going to put him up with Coolio. Dax is still... I saw this the other day. He made this Joker song ages ago. And he's still promoting that same song like 5 years later. This guy's irrelevant. This is like the real music type thing. You know, Dax makes real music that other rappers don't make. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, but you're in with KSI. Let's be real. Yes, you've got some kind of rapping ability, but like any random can have that. Remember when this guy brought up like that he was a janitor like every song? Remember that? Ja Rule faded into irrelevance. He is most definitely in poor form. Better rapper than a lot of these guys, but man, Eminem and 50 Cent, notably, you know, kind of finished his career off. Roddy Ricch, in poor form. Wait, why do I have Rick Ross in poor form? Hold on. Let's do that. Now, DaBaby, look, this guy said some things, you know, that was a cancelable offense in this day and age, but DaBaby had, you know, a really good flow, but we kind of found out that that was his only flow, kind of started making the same things over and over. So while he had some solid moments, I think he is in that average tier. Kid Cudi, on the other hand, is a world-class rapper. You cannot change my mind. He is up there. 50 Cent, you know, as much as I want to put him in prime because he had a prime, we are going to put him in world-class tier up here. Undeniable impact on rap with Get Rich or Die Trying. Hasn't really held up to that standard over time, unfortunately, but you can't ignore that album. T Grizzly, haven't listened to. Pitbull, honestly, average. Has some good songs, but he's not so much a rapper, in my opinion, as he tries to be. Nicki Minaj, you know, has had a career of sorts. I'm going to put her in average. She's put out more crap than good over her career, so I'm honestly going to put it in average, but she has had some solid moments. Joey Badass, haven't listened. He's on the list. Guys. Don't really know who Big Pun is. Not sure. Kodak Black. I don't get the obsession with Kodak Black. I think he genuinely, I just hate his style. That's just me. Drakey boy. Drake. As a rapper, definitely an average. Can't really deny his impact. I'm going to put him in solid. Kendrick Lamar, what can I say? This guy is in the prime tier. I think he's up here. Personally, he is one of the greatest rappers of all time. Every album I've listened to has just been mesmerizing, maybe except GNX. He has two of the greatest rap albums of all time at the very least. French Montana, haven't really listened to. Heard of, but obviously haven't. Fetty Wap. Fetty Wap. Goes in Diddy. Ludacris, bro. He was jumping on those Justin Bieber songs back in the day. I'm going to put him in average. Not a horrible rapper, just, you know. Cardi B, she's not as bad as some of these guys. She has some good songs, but I think she's pretty terrible. You know what? She is in Diddy. Jid, on the other hand, Jid's in solid. For now. Definitely close to being up here. Has the flow for up here. But, you know, can he have the impact? That's my question with him. Does he have like that oomph to bring him to the next level? But he's getting there. Lil Durk, haven't heard enough of Lil Durk. Lil Baby, definitely in poor form. Has not released anything of note for ages. 21 Savage, you know, I'm going to put him in the solid list. I don't think he's that insane, but has definitely had an impact and has some solid songs as well. Suicide Boys, haven't listened to a lot of, even though I want to. Young Thug, honestly, I'm going to put him in poor form. I just don't care. Hobson has some good songs. Has some bangers, for sure, in his catalog. I am going to put him in average, though. Decent rapping ability, I guess. Not crazy about a lot of his songs. I haven't listened to enough of T-Pain. He might be on the list as well. Mac Miller, from what I've heard, solid rapper. Probably could be in world class. I wouldn't be mad at that. Doja Cat, don't really understand the hype too much, but she's better than a lot of these other female ones like Cardi B and Lizzo and all them. She's definitely notably better than them, but I'm still thinking she's pretty average. 𝐴𝐸 should be up here. We'll put him in average. Eminem. Now, guys, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Have you seen my skin color? Have you seen like every video on my channel? He is the greatest rapper of all time, in my opinion, still to this day. You have people like Kendrick coming close. You have a lot of amazing rappers, but Eminem is the greatest of all time. And, you know, he can drop 3 more bad projects and he's still up there for me. Will Smith is cringe by now. He is most definitely in poor form. May have had some good songs in the past, but he is in poor form. Maybe better than some of these guys. 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐬, just a poor form. Look, he is a very mid-tier rapper. He hasn't really released too much to offend me, but I don't know why he's in this list anyway. Why are some of these people here? Pusha T, haven't listened to a lot. Lauryn Hill, with the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, dropped one of the greatest albums of all time and haven't really heard from her since, but she's got to be in world class. She's got to. Logan Paul is in Diddy. Why is he here? He is not a rapper. Travis Scott, Never really got into his style of music, the psychedelic rap, but I really can't deny the impact. Well, as a rapper, he is definitely around this category. As an artist, he is probably in the solid tier. Killer Mike, haven't listened to. Same with Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs is someone I need to check out. Yeah, I haven't listened to much of Denzel Curry either, guys. So take some notes, guys. Start making a list of people I need to react to. We've got obviously Kanye, we've got MF Doom, wherever he is, we've got Pusha T, and we got Freddie Gibbs and Denzel Curry. 2 Chainz, on the other hand, 2 Chainz goes right up here in the world-class tier. Changed my mind. Snoop Dogg, one of the greatest of all time. I will say though, he isn't in the prime. Doesn't have enough of a solid catalog to himself. You know, has some classics like Doggy Style for sure. We're going to put him in world class just because I don't think he is on that level, guys. Nelly goes in world class as well. T.I. I haven't listened to a lot of T.I. Future, I just don't get it. I don't get his type of music. He is in this tier for impact. 𝐥𝐤𝐬, haven't listened to. Ty Dolla $ign, not really. Ghostface Killah, on the other hand, is one of the greatest. He almost is in this prime tier. I am just going to make him miss out. Sorry. 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐬 seems like a nice chick maybe, but did not deserve the Grammy she won, and she is not a good rapper, unfortunately. So might be a nice girl, but yeah. Don't know who Nipsey Hussle is. Polo G, kind of dipped, mate. Kind of definitely in the poor form category. Nas, who is Nas? No, I almost gotcha. He is second to Eminem as one of the greatest of all time. Definitely top 5. Hasn't really had a dip. Well, Eminem is ahead of him because of the highest of the genre and the best prime out of all these guys. But Nas has had the most consistent, apart from maybe Kendrick. Haven't heard enough of Jadakiss. J. Cole is also in this list of people I need to listen to. I know. Lil Pump is on the worst rappers list of all time, and he deserves to be there. He is horrible. NF. Now, someone I did some reactions to back in the day. It's an interesting one, because NF is a good rapper. He has the flow, I think, and he definitely is a good rapper in the sense of performance. The only issue is just over time with NF, his music is very surface level in a way, which is good at drawing audiences in, but there isn't so much a deeper layer to it, especially in some of his more recent projects. Like Hope, I don't think was a very good album. And, you know, while he has lots of bangers for sure, I do feel he comes a bit short, and just in terms of that depth, even though that's kind of what he's symbolizing. So as a rapper, definitely in this list. I'm going to put him in average, guys. I just can't put so much of an argument for him. But, you know, as an actual rapper, he is in the solid tier. Tech-9. Now, Tech-9 has some of the fastest rap verses of all time. He's known for his speed. Has that great song with Eminem. What? Has that really great song with Eminem called Speed 'Em. If you haven't heard it, banger. Haven't really heard much from him. I'm going to put him in here. Definitely has the technical ability, though. Twister, haven't really listened to. Same with Gorilla. Fat Joe, haven't heard enough of. Big Sean. Big Sean's an interesting one. I'm going to put him in solid. No, I'm going to put him in average. He's pretty similar to NF in my opinion. Black Thought, he's a world-class rapper. He is. Outkast is cast, bro. You just, look, Andre 3000 just brings it up to, yeah, you guys know. LL Cool J has so many bangers and obviously a legend in the game. I'm going to put him in world-class, but at the back, I think. Haven't listened to enough of Swae Lee or Chief Keef, or I'm never listening to Sexy Red. Gucci Mane, Gucci Mane, not either. Lil Peep, rest in peace, but his music sucked. Definitely in there. That is my list for now. There's a lot of people I haven't listened to, obviously, but I think it's a pretty good list. Let me know your guys' list in the comments. See you guys. Bye.